If it's hard to write the book, if you dread opening your draft document, or avoid brainstorming your plot with everything from deep cleaning your bathroom closet to brushing your dog's teeth, you're not a writer. Actually, that is your brain lying to you. Chances are, if those things are happening, what you're experiencing is early, mid, or late stage burnout. And it's going to be okay. Welcome back to The Storytelling Lens. I'm Christina Knight, author of 25 books and counting, and also an author recovering from a fairly significant period of burnout. I published my first book in 2012, and between 2012 and 2020, I wrote 24 more books and raised a very energetic swim and karate kiddo and ran our household and held down an outside job and was, I think, a good wife to my husband. And I burned out because my brain recognized the signs for burnout as laziness, as procrastination, as just not being good enough or not being a real writer. I beat myself up about not writing from 2020 through about the midpoint of 2023. I told myself I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't a real writer, that if I really wanted this writing career, I'd just write the books in my head. And then I would open the document and the words wouldn't come. I would stare at the blank page for hours with nothing. I dreaded opening those documents. I dreaded going to sleep because I would dream about the books in my head, and the next day I would open the document and the words would dry up and the story would fizzle. I had no idea what was going on until I stumbled across a medical journal article about burnout, and I recognized myself, a writer, in the middle of an article about doctors burning out because of the pandemic. And I started to prioritize my mental health and think about creativity in different ways. I started journaling. I reconnected with photography, one of my favorite pastimes for as long as I can remember. I started writing little things just for fun. I wrote the beginning of a story for a friend's art exhibit. What they were doing was taking pictures and having writers write a story about the picture. And this year, I started teaching myself watercolor. And along the way, I reconnected with my writing in a totally new way. This video isn't about productivity hacks. It's about prevention. Here are the 5 crucial, often ignored habits that helped me recover from burnout and has me at my keyboard writing new books. Habit number 1, the non-negotiable rest block. You schedule your writing, so you need to schedule your rest. Rest is time that you use that isn't work, home, writing, or any other obligation related. It's a time for you to refill your well. Maybe that's reading a book, something far different than what you write, and I'll explain this in habit 3. Maybe, like me, it's picking up another creative pastime, like photography or watercolor or drawing. Maybe it's taking a walk or visiting a museum. Whatever it is, schedule it into your day and week. Ideally, try to schedule 30 minutes to an hour every day, or at minimum 4 to 5 hours a week that is focused on you. Habit number 2, the to-list system. You need to separate your creative goals, drafting your book, editing it, even brainstorming scene ideas, from your business goals of marketing and social media. Mixing up the business and creative goals is a recipe for disaster for many of us because the business never ends and it takes up a lot of creative energy. I like to divide my goals into an 80-20 basket. 80% of my writing time goes to creative projects, drafting, editing, brainstorming. 20% goes into marketing. I like the disparity of those two numbers because as I see it, writing the book is the most important part of our writing life. If we don't write the book, we can't market it. Habit 3, the input buffer. This is related to number 1, but different. Creation requires consumption of books in your subgenre, outside of your subgenre, books on bestseller lists, and even movies in related genres can help you refill your creative well and get your mind working on story ideas, characters, even antagonists for your next book. The key is to consume without analyzing it for your work. Habit number 4, the 15-minute shutdown routine. At the end of your writing day, spend 15 minutes clearing your desk, prepping one thing for tomorrow, and writing a single done list that you can check off. This creates a psychological boundary between work and life. Habit number 5, the anti-toxic comparison filter. There is a quote that is often attributed to Teddy Roosevelt, and it goes, "Comparison is the thief of joy." I think that is absolutely true, but I take it one step further. Comparison is a key burnout trigger for many of us. So learning to filter an author getting a deal you want or hitting a list you want to hit is hugely impactful for your mental health. That bit of jealousy itself isn't necessarily a terrible thing. Jealousy can be a huge motivator. But seeing another author get a huge deal or have their book put into another language when your own book hasn't been can feel demoralizing. To filter that out, I like to write down 3 small successes of my own from the past week or month. I try to keep them writing related, but any win will work, from the smallest completed 3 15-minute sprints or didn't burn the eggs at breakfast to the largest I signed with an agent or I got my own book deal. This rewires your brain to focus on your own lane. Consistent boundaries are the ultimate sign of professionalism, and they're a great way to keep your momentum moving forward and keeping your creative well filled to the top. Give these 5 habits non-negotiable rest blocks, to-list systems, input buffers, shutdown routines, and the anti-toxic comparison filter a try. Start small. Just pick one and try to incorporate it into your writing life this week. Whatever you do, don't sacrifice your well-being for your word count. Your best work comes from a place of health. Click that notification bell so you don't miss next week's deep dive.